This is how I make fondant animals. So I need my non-stick mat, some water, edible glue, corn flour, a sharp knife, a food safe brush, some CMC or Tylos, fondant, my circle cutter, cocktail sticks and tools. I add some CMC to my fondant just to firm it up, and I've got my lines here on my mat where I check where the size of the cake is so that the animals aren't too big or too small. I find it easiest to start with the body, and then I roll the head out and make sure that they are the right size for each other. And then I add the details to the head and the face. Usually this is rolling out more shapes and using my tool to do the indents for things like the snout. And then I indent where the eyes are going to be and use some edible glue to push some black into those holes. And then I also add the ears when it's like this. I usually roll them into points and then flatten them out using my tool to do the little inside bit, and I often add a little bit of pink inside there as well. I find all of this easier to do while the head is lying flat. Depending on the animal, I might leave the head to dry a little bit before attaching it to the body, but usually I'll just attach it right then and there. Again, just using my edible glue to stick everything on. You can also use water. Edible glue dries quicker and it's thicker, and I just find it's a better glue to use when sticking fondant together. These are just the little hairs on the top. Again, a lot of these things are just made by like rolling and shaping the parts with my fingers. There's the head all done, and I just add a cocktail stick. I try not to use cocktail sticks, but sometimes I just have to support the models, and I always tell the customers that the models contain cocktail sticks, and I use that to attach the head. And then I wanted this arm coming out like it was waving, so I put a cocktail stick in the side as well. I rolled some legs and attached those, and then I did the arms, and I fed one of the arms onto the cocktail stick so that it stays in place, using edible glue all over there so it dries nice and firm. Wanted some little black paws, so I rolled out some circles and pushed them down and attached those with edible glue as well. Now this guy needed some zebra stripes, but I find it a lot easier to add those little details or paint once the model has firmed up a bit, so he just went to one side on a foam mat for a few hours. I make most of my animals this way, so I start with the body and then I make the head and then I attach them together and then I add the limbs and the finer details. I did the same here with the elephant model. Using piping nozzles is really good when you need circles. And also my circle cutter here is a Windsor multi-circle icing cutter. I'll pop a little screenshot of it here. You can get it from different online cake decorating companies. I got mine in a closing down sale in a local cake shop, and I use it all the time. It's so handy. I'm just showing here how I make all the different animals using that same formula of the body first, then the head and the face, and then attaching it all together with the limbs. With something like a lion that needed a mane, I decided to cut all the mane circles out and then let them set and dry for a few hours first, because this just makes it much easier to attach later. Otherwise they're just too squashy and squishy, and it can be quite frustrating trying to get them to keep their shape. This was a few hours later, adding the zebra stripes just with some black food gel and a zero brush. And I always remember to add the tails as well, because I often forgotten to do that in the past. I made a little monkey as well, so there was 5 animals in total, and here they are all finished, ready to go on the cake.